Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami and greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning, Marianas.
It's Monday. It's Constitution Day in the Commonwealth. It is 7:36 a.m. and you're looking live down at Beach Road at the traffic here in Oleai. It is not that bad at all. It's everybody's recovering after a long weekend. They're still part of the long weekend because they're off today because government offices all over the CNMI are closed today, which is a great time. I wish I was that guy. But actually, it's going to be a little bit easier for me today. Look at me. I don't have to do anything too hard. Nothing too bad. Great to see you guys watching YouTube. That's awesome. Good to see you, Tobot, my man. And, hey, let us know what that breakfast is. We are definitely interested in knowing what your breakfast is this morning. Right now, we got a steady dose of coffee. Woo! And getting us going after having just the wildest weekend in the history of wild weekends for us. Not like party time. There was a little bit of party time, but not too much. What a weekend it was. Let's get you guys caught up with a few things though first, because it's beautiful. It's 79 degrees outside right now. It's gorgeous. Humidity's at 84%, but when you got those windows down rolling through this morning, just felt nice and crisp and cool. It was just a nice fresh morning. We're looking at some isolated showers throughout today, but mostly sunny skies, high near 86. Going to be a light wind out of the east, 8 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, going to be the same thing, but partly cloudy skies. No sun, of course, with a low around 76. So it's going to be a great typical Saipan day. And that's what it looks like for the rest of the week for us. We have a great week in store. And that includes our good old baseball that's going to resume this week. We've got the Saipan Baseball League Masters League. I got to bump into a couple of the boys last night. My way home after soccer over at the Adas, Alfred Ada, he's like, you need to park your car right now. You're not going home. You come in here now. I had a big family gathering over at the Adas, and they do it every December 8th, they said. So it was really great. So many people out there. And he came out and flagged me down. He got in front. He's like, you need to go park. You're coming out right there. You're not leaving. You're coming. I'm like, oh, deal. And then I had so much. I didn't really eat there, but I took a couple of serious plates home for my Balutan game, and even a dessert plate. And he's the one who put all the dessert together, too. So I come home. I'm a hero. It was great. But it was a wonderful way to wrap up the weekend. And we'll get into how some of that was for us, too. Today we've got our AP updates. Now, remember, we tell you whenever we have our Monday, it's their Sunday in the mainland. So they don't do the hourly updates. They just give you one per day on Saturday and on Sunday for their Saturday and Sunday. So we're only going to have that one today, plus we'll have the sports. But I'll get to let you know a little bit about what's going on in the sports world right now. In fact, I'm watching the Bills And I'm watching the Bills and the Rams off the side over here. And they just started. They're like halfway through the first quarter. Josh Allen just threw incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Trailing the Rams right now. Anyway, we're not going to be all about the Bills yet. We got some time for that. But I will get you the scores for what happened so far in the NFL this morning. While you guys have been sleeping, they have been playing. Of course, the Thursday game was a big one. The Lions beat the Packers 34-31. What a game that was on our Friday. But here's how it went down today. The Steelers knock off the Browns in Pittsburgh 27-14. Sounds better than it looked. The Saints go into New Jersey and beat the Giants 14-11. 11, such a weird score in the NFL. The Dolphins just won in overtime over the Jets in Miami 32-26. The Jaguars go into Tennessee and take down the Titans 10-6. The Falcons get doubled up on by the Vikings in Minnesota 42-21. The Eagles winning at home against the Panthers 22-16. Buccaneers looking really good against the Raiders 28-13. The late games just got started. There's just about 2 minutes left to go in Arizona, where the Seahawks lead the Cardinals 10-7. And the Seahawks have the ball, and they are driving. They're on the Arizona 5, so look to see that go up. It's 1st and goal for the Seahawks. Over in San Francisco, the 49ers have a 7-0 lead over the Bears with about 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Again, these games just getting started. The Rams beating the Bills right now, 7-0 with 7.5 left in the first quarter. Bills have the ball, but the Rams went down and scored on their first drive and looked good doing it. Late game today, it's going to be 11:20 a.m. Chamorro Standard Time. The Chargers going to Kansas City to challenge the Chiefs, and that's going to be a good one. Everybody's going to be watching that game. Tomorrow, Monday Night Football, or as we say, Tuesday Morning Football, Bengals going to be playing in the Big D as Burrow looks to knock off the Cowboys, try to make Eric Larson sad yet again. This is not a good year for the Cowboys, especially when you lose your starting quarterback, whose hamstring just about came off the bone. Oh, did they get a flag on that? No, the referee's looking the other way. Josh Allen just took a late hit out of bounds, too, and I hope they called it. Is there a flag on that? It made a big scum in the game that's going on right now, and that will work. It's 2nd and 8 for the Bills as they are driving now. They're 1st and 10 on the LA 36. So that's what's going on in the NFL this morning. So far, we'll keep you updated as the games go on. That's what we do. All right, well, we're not just about sports, but also over the weekend, the Old B Bank ended up knocking off Pyrie 1-0 to take the MSL2 championship. I know, because I was on the Pirate team that did not win that game. It was such a good game. That team and our team, there's a lot of guys who used to play with us too, which is pretty neat. So we know those guys really well, and we definitely like them. It was just a close game. It was a little physical for sure. That's how it goes. But no complaints. It was a good game. We liked playing each other. We liked playing a little tough with each other. And they bettered us in this one. And man, had some missed opportunities for sure. A good cross on a corner. A great free kick rang off the post. And we had some chances, no doubt about it. It could have gone easily the other way. But man, I love that. I love that we're out there playing competitive soccer. And our average age for our team, we've done the math. It's proven. Our average age on our team is 46 and a half. That's the average. Because we got one guy who's like 24. And then we got a couple of guys in their 30s. And then a whole bunch of guys in their 40s, a couple of guys in their 50s, and one guy who's just on the cusp of 60. The team we play, their average age is 34. We pay attention to these things, because we want to know. We want to know. We got to compare ourselves to something. Say, yeah, we didn't do too bad for a bunch of old dudes. Speaking of old dudes, the Saipan Baseball League Masters Edition resumes this week after some exciting stuff last week for sure. My guys, the Blue Jays, going to be playing against the Falcons on Tuesday, and I cannot wait to get back out there again. Falcons are a really good team, where it seems like we're playing all the teams from Tenafug, and there's a bunch of them in the league this year. Well, at least there's two. But again, great guys. It's so much fun to get out there and to play. Oh, geez. Now the Bills got the ball on the 2. Yeah, I'm like a squirrel. Look, squirrel. But it's a great league, great volunteers working on the field, great folks up there in the press box taking care of everything, and it really is great. I don't know if I'll be able to make it tonight or if I'm going to go on Wednesday night to do play-by-play. Maybe tonight, but I've had a lot of back-to-back-to-back stuff going on. And one of the big things is because the Hell of the Marianas was this weekend, and that was an exciting thing for us because we got to cover the race. It was the first time it's ever been done, and where we did live race coverage. It's never happened in the CNY. It never happened. Not for a race like that. Have there live sports broadcasts? Yeah, we've already done it. You know, like the soccer games, like we did the weightlifting, we've done the track and field, all that stuff. But that's easy-ish because we just set up there and we're good to go because all the action's right there. Even the track and field, it's right there. Even when we did soccer, we had multiple cameras, but it was all right there. Well, the Hell of the Marianas was the first time for anybody to cover sports in one of those live, as it's happening all over the place events. This is something we dreamt about, and we want to get the contract for this back when we had the mini games because we thought we could do it then. Well, anyway, we tried it for the first time this past Saturday, and it was great. I'm telling you, it was so awesome. We had so much fun with it. However, there was definitely some challenges for us because during the race and toward the end of it, I didn't get the message right away, but I got the message that my wife crashed, and holy smokes. I mean, it was not a minor crash. The way she explained it to me sounded pretty minor when she WhatsApped me. Hey, babe, here, I'll read it. And you tell me if this sounds serious, right, when you're reading this. Hold on. So, hey, babe, I crashed. The paramedics have me. I'm okay, but they're going to take me to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, my God, love you. Are you okay? She says, I'm okay. It just looks bad. She sends these pictures that I'm not going to share with you. If we hang out and do lunch or something, I'll show you on my phone, but I don't want to share these pictures because they're really bad looking. I mean, like the injury, she looks great, always. But the injury looks bad, and then there's one where, I mean, just so much blood. And the big, deep cut on her forehead and on her face. So, like, I looked at it, and I'm like, crap. And she's like, no. Like, she's like, I'm okay. So, I'm like, all right. So it doesn't sound as bad. Well, it turns out it was bad. She was definitely knocked out for a while and waiting. And the paramedics were there and got taken away. Her bike helmet looked like a murder movie. I mean, like, it was so gory looking. I'm not telling you just like a little bit of blood on it. I'm telling you, like, soaked up. All the padding was still oozing. Oh, God. She's getting a new helmet. Let's say that. It's all bumped up, crashed up, and that helmet definitely saved her. The people who were riding behind her said that as she was riding, because it was raining, it was about the time when the rain started coming down, and she was confident going down the hill, like on the way to Kingfisher, and on one of the turns, her bike slid out. She doesn't remember anything from there, but apparently she slammed into the guardrail, and you could see she really broke her fall with her face, part of it. And so it was it was very rough. When I went to the hospital after we wrapped up, she was still in, stabilized, with the neck brace and all that stuff. You could see all the stitches here and here. And, just you see your wife crying because she's so upset. And she's not crying because she's in pain, although she was. But she was crying because she worked so hard. She had a bike race 2 years ago, and she was pushing it going downhill too because she put in so much training, right? And so she would always see these other people would fly past her downhill because she was always so cautious. And I would talk all this smack saying, babe, I never use my brakes when I'm doing that stuff. I'm leaning in and all that stuff. One day you'll get confident and you'll start trying it. So she did. And she wiped out awfully. Went right off the road. This was on the way down from suicide. Right off the road into the trees. And she had to get all rescued and everything. Again, ER. So in the past 2 years, she's been riding and riding more and more. She's been prepping. Our early mornings before I even leave for the show, she was out training and everything. She put in so much work and she built up her confidence again. And then this happens. And that's what she was so emotional about at that time. And my heart's breaking as I'm hearing this story. And you're like, oh, don't cry right now. You got to be that guy, right? Be strong so you can help her feel better, right? And oh God, it was definitely brutal. But we brought her home, and I had to. Later moment, she messaged me, said, "Hey, you got to bring me clothes because they had to cut all my stuff off, so they can get to all the injuries and all that stuff." So, what would you like? Oh, bring me a dress or some shorts or something, but probably a dress because of all the scratches. So I bring some dresses, and I'm like, all right, I know I probably grabbed all the wrong stuff. She's like, you're bringing like my church clothes. I'm like, would you have like a backup relaxed dress storage? Because I don't know where you keep all this stuff. So that became kind of funny when she laughed at all my choices. I also brought her the little snake that Dorson made from Voices when we went to the CLI Persons with Disabilities Day, because I thought that would give her a little smile. It did. And then and that was that. And then we drove back and got her. She had to get cleaned up, and that was just a whole thing, right? All the calls, all the messages. What do you need? All that. It was wonderful when stuff like that happens because you find out like how many friends you really have and how many people and how Saipan is really just like one big family. And, we had everybody came over. Not everybody. There were a few people who came over. Some of our closest friends, Pam and Adam, they took the kids. They didn't need to, at all. We were going to be able to be just fine with that. She's like, no, I just want to make it easier, for you guys. So, and Pam had a really, really bad accident last year. So she's just trying to make it easy for Kathy because of what she went through last year. And so they took the kids, and then there was all this other stuff. And then there was our next door neighbors brought over food, like comfort food. Our neighbor up the hill came down with some stuff. Oh, come on, Brad. It was really nice. And then one of our other friends drove over. She's like, can I come over now? I got something that might help her feel better. She came over with ice cream and wine. It was so awesome. She couldn't drink any of the wine, right? But she could definitely do the ice cream. And I'll tell you, even this morning, she's got some real swelling from all of it. So the ice cream is probably going to be a good thing for her, no doubt about it. But short story is she's okay. The long story, I guess, would be that she's going to be rough for a little while, and she's really sore. She's got some, again, the scratches, the scrapes, and all that stuff. The stitches come out in a few days, but she's also really sore. She's like, I know she hit something with her chest. Like she's got like her sternum is pretty beat up too, and then again, all those scrapes and on the knees, elbows, hands, fingers, you name it. So. She keeps bumping into things all over at the house. And I shouldn't laugh, but she just hear her, what? She's like, I didn't realize how often I bump into everything because everything hurts now. Just walking around the house doing regular stuff. So, so now this week, we're going to be starting the show a little bit later every day. So I can take the kids to school. She normally takes the kids to school and then heads off to the office. Driving for her right now is not good. She tried driving yesterday, and it was not a good experience. So she's not going to be driving. Hey, good morning, Luisa. Good morning, Toba. Gus, aloha, listen one way. Wow, you're in Hilo. Man, I have never been to the Big Island. I've been to Oahu, I've been to Maui, but I've never been to Big Island. So I hope you're having a great trip out there, Gus. I hope you really enjoy it. It's got to be great. So just to wrap that up, so that's where that is. So we got all those people coming by. Then I have to go up to Marpy to get her car, wrangle another friend, really close. No problem, let's go. So he gets somebody to watch his kids. I pick him up in the news van of justice. We head up north to go get Kathy's car because that's part of it too. You got to go out there and get the car back. And then all the way back and do that. It's funny when the paramedics were taking Kathy. She's like, no, I need my bike. They're like, we can't take your bike. But so somebody else had to come from the race and get her bike. She was more worried about her bike in the aftermath of that stuff. Just crazy. I want to say big thanks to Ron Villafria. That's funny. 2 years ago when she had that crash, it was Ron who found her and was helping her too. Till the paramedics got there. This time it was him again, and he said that he was really upset because he stopped, but other people passed her by while she was knocked out on the side of the road. Must not be our racers. That's it. Our local racers would do that. But so that's that race. Do all that stuff. Get all through all of that stuff. And she's fine. And then that night I had my stand-up comedy debut over there at Naked Fish too. Ooh, debut. It's really the only one that's going to happen. And I only did it because it was a fundraiser. For Naked Fish. The fundraiser wasn't for Naked Fish, but it was at Naked Fish. It was for the CHCC volunteers. The CHCC Foundation, it's the new nonprofit for CHC. So like a lot of people can't donate to a government agency, which is what CHCC is. So they do CHCC Foundation. So now you can donate to that. And they can get a lot of stuff that they need. They could do fundraisers, you name it. That's what they're going to be able to do. And so we were able to celebrate them and have a little bit of fun. Tell some jokes, crack wise on a couple of folks and all that. But it was all in good fun. I got to see Chinaman in action. Got to see Nettie C in action and Santi, big boy. That guy's just awesome. He's such a natural at everything. He's just really great. So it was really something special to see. And then I hung out with everybody there. Tobot, I did lay some smack. I got a video of it. I'm not going to show it. It's just so that people will actually go to these things next time. But there were some things. Some things I definitely can't say them on the show. I don't think it's appropriate for this early in the morning to say some of the things that were said that night. I don't think I said any bad words. I don't think I used any profanities at all. No, I didn't use any profanities, not even one. So that's good. Subject matter is pretty interesting though, but it was funny. Hey, by the way, just to wrap up, I want to say acknowledge the top riders from the Hell in the Marianas for the pros. We saw them when they crossed the finish line. Ryo Inoue from Japan, he won 2:58.12. So he finished in just under 3 hours for a 100K bike race. Suzuki Michia, that's the guy who was in that light green. He finished in 3:04.31. And Rick Noble, the guy from the Netherlands, 3:08.34. And the guy who was leading for half the race, last year's champion, Mark John Lexer Galedo from the Philippines, he was finished at 3:10.31. And there were people right on his tail as Junyoung So from Korea finished at 3:12.16. Guam's top rider, Peter Lombard, finished in 7th overall at 3:23. Guy was a rock star. And it was great. And then we had a bunch of other folks from Guam who did well. Ryan Matienzo at 3:23.57. Ramel Solis at 3:36.53. And Blade Blas at 3:49 even. On the women's side, it was Kim Miso from Korea, last year's champion. She won again, 3:29.28. Awesome race. And then Suzuki Yukako in second place from Japan. And Jisun Jang from Korea finished in 5:11.11. Why did she finish in 5:11.11? Well, apparently somebody got in a pretty bad bike crash and they stuck together the whole way. It's a really good story, and we're going to hear more about it as the time goes on. Hopefully, when we get some folks, when they recover from this weekend, they'll be able to get them in here and tell us a little bit about what it was like from the other side as organizers, because that was a massive event. So much work went into that, and man, it's really impressive. How about the open category? Well, we'll give you the top women. Robin Spaeth from the CNMI, 4:28.15. She was the top open rider, not the pro, but the open. Kimiko McKagan, she finished not far behind, 4:47.53. And Kim Na-yoon from Korea, 5:02.23. That's the 1, 2, 3. On the men's side, Rusei Kuragagi, 3:32.52. That's really impressive. He's right up there with the pros. From CNMI, Arvin Velasco ends up winning second place, 3:34.37. And from Guam, Dan Aponik, he ended up taking third at 3:46.44. On the short course side, there was the road bike course and the mountain bike, road bike class and mountain bike class for the short course. This is the 50K, folks. For the women, from the CNMI, Heather Brook, 1:49.05. From Korea, Hyo Won Kim at 1:52.18, and just a minute behind, Ha Song from Korea, 1:53.12. Honorable mention, though, Carrie Bauer taking fourth place at 2:07.05, and Rebecca Wiggins up at the Capitol Hill, 2:16.29, and Astrid Poole, 2:23.59. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 ladies in the top 6 are from the CNMI. How about that? For the men's category, Hernando Cristobal from the Philippines, 1:42.31. Willie Barbo from the CNMI, 1:44.04. 3 seconds behind, Pax Guevara, 1:44.07. And Bob Ferrer, 1:44.08. I bet they rode together, and Bob is such a good dude. He let him get ahead by that 1 second. I bet they weren't even sprinting to the end. Just to know. Renee Gaviola, 1:46.21. And then it's a long list. In fact, we'll put all these results in the, not all the results, but we'll give you the link to it over there in the comments. Real quick, on the mountain bike side, from the Philippines, Ariane Bacolod, she got 1:41.38. Very impressive. Chris Romero, great to see her out there again this year, 2:55.36. And Monique Mascarenas, she got 3:09.07, and she rode with Nicole, who finished at 3:09.09. On the men's side, Michael Aparte, 1:46.09, was in first place. Gerald Campos at 1:46.11 from the CNMI, and Brian Itak, 1:46.37. And, Raymond Tolentino, just about a minute behind, resident here of the CNMI, 1:47.32. Look at that. And Matt Fehrenbecker, he had a great race at 1:50.59. All right. Well, there's, of course, a lot of folks who did the whole race and did great. So I'm going to copy this real quick and put this in the comments for you. So if you guys want to chase it down and take a look on your own, you can. In the comments right now, that is the race results for the 2024 Hell of the Marianas. 158 bikers came out to compete in the hardest, most challenging bike race in all of Micronesia. And that is not a maybe. That is factual. That's not hyperbole. I'm telling you, that was wild. All right, guys, it's 8:03 in the morning. We're going to get you your headlines. We're going to get you a commercial, but we'll get you started with a real quick word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll get you guys the... where are we at? Where are we at looking for it right now? When we come back, we're going to get you the updates from the Associated Press, and then we'll get you updated on what's going on with the NFL late games. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right there.
Such a bright day, yeah. All right. Rain or shine.
Be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book. Be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
Tis the season for savings at AK Toyota. This season finale is here, and you can get up to $5,000 cash back on the all-new Toyota Tacoma, or get up to $2,000 cash back on your all-new Toyota Corolla. And you can use that cash any way you want. But you've got to act fast because these deals end on December 31st. Get pre-approved at aksaipan.com. Some conditions apply. Come to our new dealership on Middle Road in Puerto Rico for more details. AK Toyota, here for Saipan, here for life.
AP News, I'm Jackie Quinn.
At long last, the Assad regime has fallen. This regime brutalized and tortured and killed literally hundreds of thousands of innocent Syrians.
President Biden is vowing the U.S. will help the people of Syria rebuild a new government.
The United States will work with our partners and the stakeholders in Syria to help them seize an opportunity to manage the risks.
In remarks at the White House, the president says the U.S. and its allies will be watchful for signs of any terrorist uprising.
ISIS will try to take advantage of any vacuum.
And says U.S. forces have already taken preemptive strikes against ISIS camps in Syria. The AP's Kareem Shahayeb reports on celebrations in Syria and acts of defiance.
People have broken into prisons across the country, finding political prisoners and other people that have gone missing for years. People broke into the presidential palace, tearing down portraits of the former president and posing in the lavish halls.
Neighboring Jordan and Lebanon have closed their border crossings with Syria. Israel seized a buffer zone in the Golan Heights, reports our Karen Chamas.
Hours after Assad's overthrow, Israel announced it has seized a buffer zone in the Golan Heights, established by a ceasefire agreement with Syria in 1974.
President-elect Donald Trump says he will end the war in Ukraine, suggesting a ceasefire deal.
Hundreds of thousands of bodies laying all over fields. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and it should have never been allowed to happen. Biden should have been able to stop it.
He spoke on NBC's Meet the Press with Kristen Welker. In New York City, police and the FBI continue the hunt for the gunman who killed the CEO of United Healthcare last week. Moana 2 is again the top movie at the box office. This is AP News. A Wizard of Oz relic has fetched millions at auction.
I'm Archie Zaraletta with an entertainment update.
There's no place like home.
An anonymous bidder paid $28 million for one of 4 surviving pairs of ruby slippers Judy Garland wore in The Wizard of Oz. Bonnie Raitt, The Grateful Dead, Francis Ford Coppola, Arturo Sandoval, and the Apollo Theater are recipients of Kennedy Center honors. CBS will show the honors as a special on December 22nd. The Monday night football game between the Bengals and the Cowboys will feature an alternate broadcast done by The Simpsons. The NFL players will be animated with chips that track their movements. Simpsons Fun Day Football will stream on ESPN+, Disney+, and NFL+, with the regular broadcast on ABC and ESPN. I'm Archie Zaraletta.
And I'm Jackie Quinn, AP News.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad.
And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
All right, CNMI, we are back. It's Good Morning Marianas. It's 8:09 on Monday morning, Constitution Day here in the CNMI. And it is looking nice out there. It's even nicer on the roads. You wouldn't even believe it. You know, I know that there's a lot of people who have to get to work today, but there's so many fewer drivers this early in the morning when the government is basically closed for the day. And it's nice. It was a pleasant drive getting in this morning for sure. But I can already see that the look around the CNMI for traffic right now, at least in Saipan, looks great. Take a look right now. It's a real quick look for us. Popping over here. Hold on one second. I got to add one more thing. Why is that off? I turned that off for something. Bam. There we go. All right, so that's it. So we're looking right now at one of the trouble spots you can see over there by Airport Road. It's a little bit slow go where people are stuck at the light over by the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church. Over by Shell Dandan, it's a little bit slow as people are trying to get going, but it's not nearly as bad as what you normally get over there at Chalo Monsignor Guerrero and the CMG, and Chalo Monsignor Martinez. Over there by ITNE, just around the corner from us, it's mildly slow, but not too bad. People starting to get to that intersection and taking off a little bit, so you're going to be able to still go through as normal. Over by the old AK intersection, yeah, it's slow, but it's getting better. That is definitely getting better. It's only in one direction right now, and those folks, no, not that one direction, but those folks are going to be moving along. Once they either take a left or a right, they are stuck at the light. It's going to still be slow over there in Chalampiao, but it's actually not so bad right now. All the school buses are done getting through there. Construction's still going to be an issue, and folks are getting there all bundled up at the at the light, but it's not that bad. Let's go over and take a look further up the road in Garapan at the Navy Hill intersection, and it's a little slow. You got people at all the lights right now in all the directions, and just a little bit away. It's probably the side from the Marianas Creations, the green light right now. Everybody else is in a red, and they've been sitting there for a little while, so that's going to break up in just a little bit, but everything looks like it's moving smoothly, even down at the base of Issa Drive and Middle Road at the bottom of Capitol Hill looks pretty good. In fact, there's a few cars making their way over there, but you know, there's still all that little bit of road repair that needs to get done over there since that water main break last week. And that is what we're looking at right now. Everything looks pretty nice. You can't complain about this at all. We are having a great day. This is why these holiday Mondays are great for us. We absolutely love them. Everything's easy. It's fun. We have a great day. Awesome. All right, well, we're going to get into some of the other stuff. We're going to get you guys caught up again with the NFL scores because we got new ones. We already talked about what the early scores of the day were, and the Bills just scored another touchdown. But I'll tell you what, this is a tough game. The Bills were driving, then they decided they had to punt because they were getting nowhere. The punt was blocked, and the Rams ran it in for a touchdown. Oh no, it's 17-7. What's going to happen? Well, the Bills just went down again, and they just scored with Ty Johnson. Just ran it all the way in, a nice long one, and they're kicking the extra point right now. Let's see if it goes through. It goes through. So 17-14 here in Los Angeles with 10 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Rams 17, Bills 14. The other late games, 49ers over the Bears right now, 14-0. They've got the ball. It's 3rd and 8 on Chicago's 30, so they are driving here with 10. Oh, now it's 4th and 1 now for the Bears at the Chicago 23. Will they go for it? They're probably going to kick a field goal. 10:49 left in the second quarter over there. Seahawks 17, Cardinals 10 right now in the second quarter with 3:24 remaining. Those are the 3 games that are being played right now. The later game, it's going to be 11:20 our time here, Chamorro Standard Time. the Chargers and the Chiefs in Kansas City. That's going to be a big one. AFC West showdown. And then tomorrow's Bengals and the Cowboys. But those are the three scores right now. Seahawks over the Cardinals, 49ers over the Bears, and the Rams over my Bills. But it looks like the Bills got the ball back again. Holy cow. No, it's got to be because they're going to kick off. That's got to be it. Just the way they do those indicators on there. So that's where we're at right now. Of course, we're going to be following that all throughout the day. Throughout the whole game anyway. There's nothing else I would rather do. That's my thing. Hey, let's talk a little bit about some things that happened over the weekend as far as like international news stuff. And it's a really big deal. You heard about it during the, I don't want to use the football music for that for sure. But you heard about it on the AP update. And that was a really big deal. I mean, it was 14 years ago when the Arab Spring happened. Remember when Gaddafi was deposed? Like everybody was revolting in the Middle East. Well, it started in Syria, and Syria became like a big war, like a proxy war, where folks who were supported by the U.S. and folks who were supported by Iran and Russia and folks who were supported by Turkey. Well, the Turkish-supported troops have now crushed through the country all the way through to Damascus, and their leader, President Assad, has fled to Moscow. That's right. They were really supported heavily by the Russians, and the Russians have been helping with all kinds of airstrikes and everything to keep their rebels at bay. But it was not to be, and I wonder if it wasn't because of how many resources they've got in tied up with Ukraine and what's not working out for them over there. And I think that's a big piece of it. So either way, the Assad regime is gone. Assad no longer in Syria. He is now in Moscow with his family, and we're going to have to find out how that turns out. They've been ruling for 50 years, and he's a president in name only. That is not exactly the elected kind, the democratically elected kind. Just watch the Bills kicked off right now. Oh, geez, Puka Nacua. No, that's not Nacua, but they're Washington ran the ball back and just took a lick. Wow, geez, that was a big one. Anyway, the run by Johnson looks like it was a 41-yard. It was a pass. He caught it in the backfield and ran up the left side to score that 41-yard strike. Good times in Buffalo, I'll tell you that. And there's so many fans for Buffalo who are in Los Angeles at SoFi to watch this game. They said it's just about half of the stadium are Bills fans. And the way that stadium is designed, with it's officially an open air stadium, but it is covered, and that cover, it's like a canopy over the top of it, but it's still free flowing, so it's not like a dome. But the way the sound reverberates off that canopy makes it super loud in there. So if you have a lot of fans from the other team there, it is like a home field advantage for the other team. It's crazy. It's like a disadvantage for the home team. So, go Bills. Anyway, it's going to be a good game, and we're looking forward to seeing more of that for sure. All right, let's get to some of the local news side stuff. And this I thought was interesting. So we reported this last week where Judge Gabendo issued his order with regards to the case with the CNMI against Shane Villanueva, and that was more about what are they able to say in the legislature, where can you protect yourself, and if you're under investigation, and if they say that you're under investigation, you're being looked into, are you able to protect yourself by that? And so that's essentially what happened there. But the judge didn't stop there. He kept going and said, hey, the U.S. Attorney's Office should be investigating this. I mean, this is using federal funds. Why aren't they involved? Why are they making this a local matter? So a little bit of opinion in that order coming from the local judge. And you know what? He's right. Where the hell is the U.S. Attorney's Office with regards to the investigation of the Boost grant? Sure, the FBI went in and they went to the Bank of Saipan, and then they seized all these files. I was there. I saw it. I shot the video of it. It's on our page if you go all the way back to when we did it. That happened. So what's been going on since then? They took all of these files out of the Bank of Saipan when that happened. Where'd they go? Okay, so they had them, so they poured over them, but they don't have the resources really to go through and do all that stuff, and they certainly didn't bring any charges at all. So it's a tough one. So we're gonna go back here real quick. I don't know if if it was a recording or if it was live, but it was video. So let's go to video. I'm just gonna see if I could show it to you real quick, because I was, again, now we've done so many videos, it's going to take a little while to probably get to it. But at the time when I posted it, it went viral, like all around the United States. Hundreds of thousands of people had seen it. Let me go through. It's going to take a little while to scroll back all the way. But the main thing is that now that case is out of our local court. They could still do something with it, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I don't think they're going to get any traction on that unless they do like a real legit investigation. And who's going to handle that now? Because they disqualified the chief the person who was prosecuting that case for the CNY. So that's going to be, again, people. I don't think that they were going after the real people in the first place. It's not like he was one of the quote unquote architects of like where the boost money went and all that stuff. And if he was, well, they hadn't proved any of that stuff yet. But there were 3 people who made the decisions, who officially signed off on everything for all those payments. And he was not one of them. Neither was Rob or his wife or significant other, Selena. So where they didn't go after the people who were the heaviest on that. And they were trying to get to that through the questioning at the legislature. So now they need to, I don't know what's going to happen, but the feds should definitely be interested in, what this really looks like is that it was not dispersed properly, or there's a lot of favoritism, or not even that. They're basically just a giveaway to close folks. And that, I mean, it's not just the appearance of impropriety. It was just so overwhelmingly bad. All right, and I'm saying all this, by the way, as I'm scrolling through. I mean, that was like 2 years ago, and I'm not even a year back scrolling through videos yet. I wish there was an easier / faster way to do it. And also, we have posted so many videos. I'm just scrolling through the videos. And I'm only a year back now. And holy cow, looking at where we were a year ago with our broadcast. This is before I even started this doing this on my own, when I was still doing this out of the house we're almost 2 years ago now. But back then, doing all this stuff, I think this is maybe, we'll see where we're at. Breaking news, that's something. What is this one? No, that's only 435 views. That's not it. I'm really taking a long time to try to get you this, which I think is such a really big deal. I thought it was a really big deal, but I didn't think it needed to take this much time for me to show this video clip. But just because so many people had seen this video clip, that's why I thought it was really interesting. Hold on, let's go. I'm still scrolling back. And all these things say a year ago. Look, Pentagon balloon. You remember the Pentagon balloon thing? Or the Chinese spy balloon thing? All right. Hold on. We're still scrolling back looking for more of these things. Here's the videos. Wow, this is when we rebroadcast all the Boost hearings. By the way, if you're really interested in what happened with everything with Boost, you should go back and watch some of those Boost hearings. Just to hear, I found it, by the way. I've just found the video. But you should hear the testimony and remember it because it was pretty pointed stuff. All right, so this is it. Let me share the video here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's it. And 160,000 views. And then all these comments from people in the mainland who we're talking about. This is file footage. I should put something on there that says that. This is from, this is from a long time ago now. Here, let me get out of here for a second so I can see what the date was. That was from December 19th of 2022. Right? But all those comments were there's so many folks from the mainland, never heard of the NMI News Service. They saw the FBI was at the Bank of Saipan, and they were like, basically the keywords about the FBI is what really got them in there. So that was it. So this was from December 19th of 2022. And it's not like a super long video. That's just one guy carrying out the files. Charge off files. Okay, so that they're using some banker boxes. Yeah, can't really see it. I know that guy, by the way. Okay, that one says Tinian, right? And again, this is 2 years ago, right? This is 2 years ago, this footage. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Thanks. You've got it. You're welcome. Yeah, really, Davey, great to see you. I'm glad to do it too. Yeah, so this was that footage from a couple years ago. And again, so the federal investigators were there. You know, so this is about like Judge Govendo saying like, why hasn't the U.S. Attorney's Office gotten involved? That's a great question. Where is the U.S. Attorney's Office? What have they done with it? You know, if you want to get, you guys can't see that it says Tinian on there. I'm looking at this. Here, hold on. There, you can see it right there, Tinian on the box. Now you can because I just transitioned it over, but that's it. So that's what that's all about. So that he brings up a really good point, Judge Govendo. I should save this so it's easy for me to find again. Hold on, download. Yeah, I'm just going to download this thing now so I can have it handy when I need it again. I'll tell you, but all those videos from the Boost hearings are really good. And let me just, under news service files, let me find one that, do I have something that says Boost? No, but I will now. Here, I'm just going to put this under Boost. B-O-O-S-T. And, you know, by the way, I know Boost has such a terrible stigma, right? The name of it and everything. People who got the Boost grant aren't bad people, right? The people there's so many people who got it and it was great. Hold on, let me put this in here. FBI file. Seizure. All right. And what is that? That's December 19th. Let me just date that. 19 December 2022. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so when you hear the Boost, there's a lot of people who got Boost grants, and they're fine. They're not bad folks. They didn't do anything wrong. Nobody said, like, just because you got a Boost grant doesn't mean anything bad. I know a lot of people who got Boost grants, and they were well deserving of it and everything. The problem is that there were so many who didn't even get checked out. Or they said their official line was that they never denied anybody, but they didn't. That's because they didn't officially classify it as a denial. They just didn't do anything with it. I mean, that's really what happened. They didn't deny it. They didn't go forward with it. And how they just got all those people the awards. Oh, good false start. All right. They got all those people those awards who were really close to them. Family members, close friends, folks who didn't even complete their packets and everything, especially after the election. After the election, they kept doing it after the governor had already lost. So they were trying to put the hands in the money of people who were their supporters right afterwards. That's why this is the big problem. And they just went willy-nilly giving all that stuff away. I mean, like, the organizations that, like, some of these folks were a part of were the ones who received these things. Like, these nonprofits that weren't nonprofits before. They popped up out of nowhere, and they were their friends. Like, there's a couple of organizations from Guam that got hundreds of thousands of dollars from this Boost stuff. That's why that's the problem, right? That's the problem. That's the part that needs to really be investigated. And there's definitely going to be an issue where they talk about what's unethical and what's illegal. And not everything that's unethical is illegal. But for us as CNMI residents, and we need to remember that stuff when it comes to who we're going to welcome into this community and support, and who our leaders are going to be. And when and some of these guys weren't from here, and they were part of the problem. You just got, the thing is not letting these folks have a prominent role in our community again. You just can't. Unless they come clean, they apologize, we'll let them do their time and put it out there. But I'll tell you what, until that happens, until people admit what they did was wrong in this instance, then they don't deserve a spot at the table anymore. It's just not fair. They abused this great benefit to our community, and they did it for personal gain or for the gain for their friends and family, and that's not right. And they would do it again. So that's where I'm with Judge Govendo for sure on that statement where he's like, hey, the feds should be doing this. They were there at the beginning. They were there seizing the files and everything. And man, then it went nowhere. Hey, there's another story in there about the governor's got an advisor in D.C., Fred Radowagen. And is that the husband? It is. It's the husband of Amada Radowagen. And he was getting paid $30,000 to kind of get engagements going. Now he's getting $50,000 as like an advisor. Why are we paying this guy to do this stuff? It feels kind of weird, like, to me. It almost feels like we're paying this guy to make sure that we get votes from his wife to be similar to our needs. That's how it feels for me. Now, that might not be a fair assessment or a fair statement. I'm coming from a good place with it. It's not an accusation at all. I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but the CNMI is paying the husband of the representative from American Samoa to facilitate engagements with the federal government. I think that is a way of paying for favorable status with another member of the House of Representatives by paying their by paying her husband. It doesn't sound right. It smells to me. It doesn't seem like we should do it. Now, his official title is the CNMI Governor's Senior Advisor for Federal, Regional, and International Affairs. Just doesn't seem right. And then to all of a sudden jump his salary from $30,000 to $50,000. Don't get me wrong. I think that's probably it's a better pay. But one, I don't know how we can just all of a sudden arbitrarily raise this guy from $30,000 to $50,000 when we've got all this stuff going on here. What's the actual benefit that we're really getting out here? So apparently he's also a member of the Center for Australia, New Zealand, and Pacific Studies Board of Directors. What is that exactly? Let's take a look at it. But I'll tell you, it just seems like one of those like a ghost employee kind of thing. Yeah, it's not an accusation, but like you're paying the spouse of a member, like a government is paying the spouse of, yeah, exactly, Tobot. So why do we have a delegate there at DC? We have an elected member of the House of Representatives. Why are we paying the spouse of another member of the House of Representatives from American Samoa? Why are we paying that guy a salary when we already have our own delegate and her own team that's going to be on the ground? Why are we paying this guy? It sounds crazy to me. It definitely stinks. Caleb, you know too much, Brad. I know. Next thing you know, I'm going to be like that guy from that health insurance company. Let's see. I'm just getting some information about Georgetown University, by the way. So it was founded in 1995. It's an academic center in the Walsh School of Foreign Service. It offers courses and a unique undergraduate certificate program in the study of Australia and New Zealand. No, that's the Edmund Welsh School of Foreign Service. That's not the same thing. Learn more about the center. Yes, I want to learn more about the center. The Center for Derek Zoolander Center for Kids Who Cannot Read Good and Want to Do Other Things Good Too. All right. So it's called CANZIPS. Center for Australia, New Zealand, and Pacific Studies. CANZIPS. All right. Established in 95, Center for Australia and New Zealand Center is part of the Walsh School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University. All right. So apparently he's a member of the board of directors over there. At least their website's kind of up to date. Nothing since August of this year. Is there an About Us page, or is this it? This is the canzips.georgetown.edu. So this is what that guy's a part of, by the way. Let's open this up. Something just sounds bad about this. In the whole scheme of things, $30,000 or $50,000 not going to bankrupt the CNMI, right? So I don't, no issues with that. This guy got a blower up here. We do. The cleaning guy up here is using a blower, not a broom. Check it out. He'll enter the camera here soon. Or he won't. I'm just looking over there. So we've had birds and blowers. There he is. That's right. You got it, buddy. Ready to use that blower. I mean, I guess it's better. It's more efficient than a broom. Okay. Moving on. So it just strikes me as odd. It just feels like we're paying, like it feels like we're paying to curry favor with the representative from American Samoa, right? Kalili's been there for 16 years. You think he needs that? I don't think so. But it's not paid for by Kalili's office. It's paid for by the governor. And it's a carryover, I think. Remember when the previous administration, they had issues with Kalili, so they got their own lobbyist? Ridiculous, right? Because they want to push their own agenda versus the one that the people elected the other guy for. So, I think just the thoughts about that, you just kick that. I would get rid of that. I mean, the guy doesn't even work for the office. Thanks, dude. Brad, you don't know what you're talking about. That's true. It's true. I just don't see it. I need to feel better about it somehow, and I don't right now. I don't think it's a good deal. I think it's a bad deal. It just stinks. It doesn't seem ethical to me that the spouse of a member of the United States House of Representatives can have a business where that they help set up meetings with folks in the federal government. It sounds like a back channel way of currying favor with that representative. I think he just needs a different kind of job. I don't think you can have that kind of a job. No, that's like paying people for meeting with government officials. So who knows who? Yeah, I know. I think that's it. I think that's the basis of my feeling on it. It just feels dirty. You know, it feels dirty that you're going to hire the spouse, and not just for him to have that job, knowing that it's his wife who's there, and I feel like he's gaining because he's got access to all those folks because of his wife. So that to me seems dirty. Whether or not it is, whether or not that's fair, hey, that's fair. I understand if you don't think it's fair. I'm just telling you how it strikes me. And that strikes me as unethical. You know? Hey, everyone's got opinions. That's mine. My little objective point of view on this just seems unethical. And then why would we all of a sudden bump them up to an extra $20,000 if the guy's on that kind of a contract? Is he the only one who's doing it? I don't know. I just don't get it. So the governor apparently is going to get this guy some more money because he wants him to do some more stuff for him. I think that's a contract we'd want to OGA just to see what the scope is and everything, what the guy's doing. But again, no matter what, it just doesn't seem right. Okay, I've said it about 1,000 times, so I'm going to move on. All right. So what I'll do, I'm going to break it up a little bit. We do have the sports update from the Associated Press, but before we go do that, I'm going to send you guys a couple of commercials, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Such a bright day, yeah. All right. Rain or shine.
Illuminati, where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book. Be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
This is the season for savings at AK Toyota. This season finale is here, and you can get up to $5,000 cash back on the all-new Toyota Tacoma, or get up to $2,000 cash back on your all-new Toyota Corolla. And you can use that cash any way you want. But you've got to act fast because these deals end on December 31st. Get pre-approved at aksaipan.com. Some conditions apply. Come to our new dealership on Middle Road in Puerto Rico for more details. AK Toyota, here for Saipan, here for life.
AP Sports, I'm Mike Reeves. Let's jump right into college football, where it was a big day with a number of conference championships on the line.
Quarterback play was the difference in Oregon's 45-37 win over Penn State in the Big Ten championship game. The Nittany Lions drew Aller through 2 costly interceptions, including one which iced it for Oregon late in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Ducks signal caller Dylan Gabriel passed for 283 yards and 4 touchdowns.
This is a special group, and as you just take a step back and look at the moments we've had this season, our big-time players made big-time plays in these moments, so I love that part about it.
Tez Johnson had 181 receiving yards for the 13-0 Ducks. Penn State is 11-2. Tom McCabe, Indianapolis.
The Georgia Bulldogs lost their starting quarterback but won the game, defeating Texas 22-19 in overtime for the SEC championship. Carson Beck, Georgia's starting signal caller, suffered a shoulder injury on the final play of the first half, giving way to Gunnar Stockton, who led the Dogs from a 6-3 halftime deficit to a 3-point victory. Georgia offensive lineman Tate Rutledge on Gunnar's play in the second half.
Gunnar did a great job stepping up like he had to, and him coming in the game, I think, made everybody realize that this is a new juice we got to come out of the second half with, and I think everybody did a great job with that.
Stockton was helped by Trevor Etienne, who scored a pair of touchdowns, including a 10-yard game winner in overtime. DeAndre Moore scored the only Texas touchdown on a 41-yard pass from Quinn Ewers. Gary McKillips, Atlanta.
Number 15 Arizona State romped over 16th-ranked Iowa State 45-19 in the Big 12 championship game, so the Sun Devils improved to 11-2 with their first outright conference title since 1996. Sun Devils coach Kenny Dillingham says he thinks his team is worthy of a first-round bye in the playoffs.
We're 11-1 with our starting quarterback, having beat 4 ranked teams, having won the Big 12 championship. So I do think because of we've made a standard that the quarterback is that valuable, I think should be a real chance that we get a first-round bye, and I definitely think we should host a game.
Running back Cam Scadaboo and quarterback Sam Levitt keyed the victory. Scadaboo rushed for 170 yards, accounted for 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 pass reception, while Levitt threw for 219 yards and 3 touchdowns, also ran for another score. Bob Stevens, Arlington, Texas.
Nolan Hooser drilled a 56-yard field goal as time expired to give Clemson its 8th ACC title in 10 years, 34-31 over SMU. The Tigers led 31-14 in the fourth quarter before Kevin Jennings sandwiched 2 scoring passes around a field goal, the last coming with 16 seconds remaining. Adam Randall took the ensuing kickoff and went 41 yards.
It was a special moment. Coach Sweeney gave me an opportunity to return it. He could have sure enough told me to fair catch it, but I got the opportunity, and my front line and the other guys on kickoff return helped me out, and we made the most of it.
Cade Klubnik hit Antonio Williams for 17 yards to set up the winning kick. Klubnik threw for 262 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. I'm Dave Ferry.
The MAC title goes to Ohio, 38-3 over Miami, Ohio. In the Sun Belt Conference, Marshall defeated Louisiana 31-3. Off the field, Oklahoma State announced it's agreed to a new contract with head coach Mike Gundy, and Scott Frost is returning to UCF, where he was the head coach in 2016-17. Coming up, news and scores from the NBA, NHL, college hoops, and MLS, along with an MLB free agency update. NBA, the Grizzlies had a tough road test Saturday in Boston. Here's Gethin Coolbaugh.
Ja Morant had 32 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds, and the Grizzlies snapped a 10-game losing streak in Boston with a 127-121 win over the Celtics. Memphis coach Taylor Jenkins.
This is a tough team. It's a tough place to play. I thought our guys kept hitting him, just stay the course. It's what it's going to take tonight.
The Cavaliers remained hot, defeating the Hornets 116-102, getting a career-best 41 points from Evan Mobley. Cavs head coach Kenny Atkinson.
He's an elite player in this league. I mean, he's a top 20, and he can be in the top 10 easy.
The Wizards ended a 16-game losing streak with a 122-113 win over the Nuggets. Oklahoma City ran past New Orleans 119-109. The Pistons defeated the Knicks 120-111. Cade Cunningham with 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 15 assists for Detroit. Dallas beat Toronto 125-118, and Miami was a 121-111 winner over Phoenix. The Orlando Magic found out that Franz Wagner would likely be out a minimum of 4 weeks with a torn right oblique. NHL, the Islanders beat the Hurricanes 4-3. One of the Islanders' goals coming from Bo Horvat, who had not scored since November 7th.
It's probably been the longest one since my second year, since I had that kind of a streak. But, I mean, yeah, it was just it was one of those things where you just kind of had to laugh about it. And, I'd been more worried if I wasn't getting the chances and stuff. So to finally see it go in and get the win behind it definitely felt great.
Florida defeated San Jose 3-1. The Bruins edged the Flyers 4-3 in overtime. Utah was a 5-2 winner at Buffalo. Winnipeg won in Chicago 4-2. It was Washington 4, Montreal 2, Colorado 2, Detroit 1, Pittsburgh 5, Toronto 4-2. Ottawa 3, Nashville 1, LA 4, Minnesota 1, and Edmonton beat St. Louis 4-2. College basketball, number 4 Kentucky rallied past number 7 Gonzaga 90-89 in overtime, and number 5 Marquette defeated number 11 Wisconsin 88-74. The LA Galaxy won the MLS Cup, defeating the New York Red Bulls 2-1. Here's correspondent Mark Myers with the details.
LA netted 2 early goals on Carlos Coronel, Joseph Painsil in the 9th minute, and then Dejan Jovalic in the 13th. The Red Bulls got hope after Sean Nealis scored in the 28th minute, but there'd be no more goals after that. LA has now won a record 6 MLS Cups. The New York franchise has never won it.
Major League Baseball, Willie Adames is signing with the Giants, and Tyler O'Neill is joining the Orioles. Mike Reeves, AP Sports.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
All right, CNMI, we are back. You're still looking down there at Olei, and it looks great down there, doesn't it? It is beautiful. Can't complain about it at all. You know what else? Are we on? Are we off? We're on. That's how it goes. We're on. All right. Hey, we're back, everybody. I could play with the buttons and have all kinds of fun. All right, so let's give you a little heads up on what's going on with the NFL right now. The 49ers are ahead of the Bears 24-0 at the half. The Rams on top of the Bills 24-14 at the half. Meanwhile, in Arizona, they're already into the third quarter, where the Seahawks are winning 24-10 with 11:40 remaining in the third quarter. Late game, the Sunday night football game, which is our Monday morning game, 11:20. It's going to be the Chargers at the Chiefs. Should be a real good one that everyone's going to be watching. I don't know where you're going to watch, but I know that we'll probably be watching from over here at the old headquarters. I'm going to run downstairs in about an hour or so, drop off my wife's bike at the bike shop. It's all beat up from the race. I think we talked a little bit about how that worked too. Hey, so just let's get back to it. We started pulling up stuff. for good old Fred Radewagen. Nothing negative about him at all. There's not a bad thing. We're not saying anything bad about him at all. The only idea, though, I don't love the idea that I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, but it looks like he's been in this little business for a long time with regards to being involved in everything happening in the Pacific. Still, I just don't like the idea that we're paying the spouse of a sitting member of the House of Representatives to get us connections in D.C. Yeah, it happens. That's just it. That's where I'm at on it. And I don't think I'm coming off of that. I think that's going to be it. And, you know, this is it.
Now that President Trump is the Republican nominee.
So I'm looking at him. So he's definitely a right-wing guy because I'm looking at all his stuff on his LinkedIn and the video posts that he keeps trying to post on Facebook. Apparently he's not allowed to do that anymore. All this pro-President Trump stuff. But he's been a director with that center for 42 years. He started it in June of 82. And so, I mean, it makes sense. It's like we are at least dealing with a guy who's got all those kind of connections, right? But he's been a consultant first with the CNMI from 99 to 2011. And then he was with the Pacific Islands Washington office. He said, according to this, from 82 to 2015. And then his LinkedIn is not great. I'm looking at it. It's like it needs to get freshened up a little bit because he's got the same thing on there 3 times. The director, self-employed of that, then the PWO, which is the Pacific Islands Washington office, but he just called it PWO. And then he's got it on there. So he's got it on there 3 times, the exact same thing. But one ends in June of 2015. The other one, it goes from June of 82 to September of 24, and the other one says present. So did he like leave for a couple of months? Is that what he's saying? Because his main one says that he's been there all the way through. So I think basically there may be a little user error on that. That may, yeah, that's what kind of what it looks like. Anyway, that's all I know about that guy. That he's kind of a heavy in this part of the world when it comes to Washington, D.C., and we're paying him. But I wonder where the impetus came from to go from 30 to 50. You know, here's his page, and this is the picture that they used in the paper, by the way. When we go to here, let me go to the share screen so you can see it. Dum dum dum. By the way, the phone lines are open. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, you want to call, you can. 789-2323, 670-789-2323. That's the number. Get you on with us this morning. This is his page on Georgetown University's, the Walsh School of Foreign Service. And this is it. It says it right here. We'll read it to you. Fred Radewagen is the Washington-based Pacific Governmental and International Affairs Advisor and Strategic Planner who over the years has counseled or represented numerous Pacific Island governments and organizations, including the Governor of American Samoa, the Prime Minister of the Cook Islands, the President of Nauru, the Government of Palau, the Governor of Guam on his Pacific Viability Program, the CNMI resident representative to the United States, and the governor of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. He has also served as Washington advisor to the Speaker of the Guam Legislature, advisor to the chairman of the Marshall Islands Nuclear Claims Tribunal, and as executive director of the Micronesia Institute. Earlier, he was the Washington liaison for the High Commissioner of the Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands. He is the senior advisor for Pacific missions for Flying Doctors of America and has participated in missions to the Marshall Islands and Solomon Islands. Mr. Radewagen received a BA degree from Northwestern University with a concentration in diplomatic history and went on to earn a Master of Science in Foreign Service degree from Georgetown University with a concentration in international politics. He was awarded a certificate of participation in the Pacific Islands Area Seminar at the East-West Center in Honolulu, Hawaii. By the way, all this stuff for him sounds great, but A certificate of participation. Do you really want to put that in there? Is that the big one? Like, I'd leave that out. The certificate of participation. Nick, you're reaching on that one. Just leave it alone. It's just the certificate of participation. Anyway, he's a big right-wing guy, and I don't know much about him. Haven't ever even heard him utter a single word. So, but he's got an impressive background. He knows folks, and he is well networked. So definitely understand why the governor would reach out to him as a resource for what we're doing in D.C. So totally understandable. I mean, I totally get all that. We'll just see how that works out. But again, the need to bump up his stuff, I wonder what that's really rooted in. Like, all of a sudden, he just decided that we're going to have to go a little bit higher. I guess we'll see. What else is happening? We're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. I'll tell you, it was a long weekend. It was pretty brutal with everything that we had going on and trying to catch up. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to play a little bit of catch up and run around, do some administrative stuff today, and we'll be back again tomorrow. I don't have any real big things happening today where we're going to be back broadcasting live unless something pops up today. But really, all the government offices are closed. So we'll probably come back and rock them tomorrow morning. What we're going to end up doing, though, again, at least for the next few days, because Kathy is not good with driving right now at all. I'm going to be dropping out the kids to the school and everything. So just expect we're probably going to be a little bit later start every day, somewhere between 7:15 and 7:30. Probably, I'm going to guess that it's all week. And we'll see what happens. We'll take it day by day next week, but that's what we're looking at today. As far as the rest of the week goes, let me just take a look real quick, see what we got. We're going to have Russ Wilcox is going to come in tomorrow. He's going to be talking about, the News Van of Justice is one of these K cars, one of these K vans, the Japanese small vehicles that are out here. And he is one of the guys who led the charge to even get them here. So it's going to be really interesting to have him in studio tomorrow. Got a nice lunch with some folks on Wednesday. This Thursday at night is the VFW meeting. So it's a Veteran of Foreign Wars. It's going to be at 6:30 at the VFW in Garapan. And what is this one? Oh, and then on Friday is the official opening of the new lounge at the Crown Plaza Resort. I know there was a story that came out that like Austin Barcenas' works and a lot of historical pieces and cultural pieces are there, but the official grand opening of that spot is on Friday, and we'll be there for that for sure. We're looking for that on Friday, and we'll broadcast from there too, so you guys can see everything that happened. All right, so I've got some stuff. Oh, right. I got some messages from the folks at Crown. By the way, so I was the MC for the IT&E Christmas party over the weekend on Friday night. By the way, a lot of fun. It was great to be there and be there with all these folks that I used to work with and see all the new faces, the new generation of folks who were there and everything. But they brought in a bunch of folks who had previously served at IT&E, like Rose Soledad, Hans Mikkelsen, George Soledad was there, Shirley Dotz was there. And then I got to see all those folks who have been there for a long time. I mean, I left in 2014, so it was nice to kind of be a part of it again and see all those guys and, do something for them because they support us, everything that we do. We're doing all this with IT&E. And they've been pretty wonderful. And again, it was a treat. But when I was there, I got to talk with the chefs over there, Chef Chris and then Chef Zen. And we were talking about the daddy-daughter date stuff that I do with my daughter every year, and then about doing other stuff with them. They're like, hey, when are we going to get you back in the lobby again, do another broadcast here? I'm like, well, we'll figure it out. Let's do it. Let's pick a date. What do you guys want to do? And now I got a better idea how I want to set everything up, too, which is good. So that's going to happen again. I want to do a live demonstration for some of their cooking stuff. And I spoke with Chef Jody O'Sullivan about that. And he's going to start doing classes at NM Tech soon. So we said that, hey, we can go ahead and set that up. Oh, my dad's calling. Hold on one second. Hey, Dad, can I call you back in a little bit? Yeah, it'll just be a little bit. I'm just wrapping up the show. All right, love you. All right, this is my dad calling. Probably talking about the Buffalo Bills and how bad they look. And I'm sure he also wants to talk about Kathy because my mom messaged me this morning. I was going to call him after the show. So, sorry, Mom and Dad. I'll call you in just within the next 5 minutes. But it was great to talk with those folks from the Crown because a couple things are happening with Crown. One, I get to go back in there and do another show in the lobby, working with Chef Jody, and when we still have to work out the specifics with Jodina or the folks over at NM Tech, so I can get in and do cover one of their cooking demonstrations that they're going to do over there with their students, which I think will be really neat. Also, I'm going to be the MC for their New Year's Eve on, well, you know when that is, December 31st, and so we'll be there and having fun. It's going to be great. They got so much lined up, and it's such a great idea the way they're doing it. All right, so that is something that is on my list. That's what's going on. So now you got a little idea what's happening this week. There's other folks who want to come in, and we're excited about that. Next week, on Tuesday, we're going to have Jordan Paradise in here. He's a local artist, local rapper, really, and he's been doing a lot of great music and really cool video collaborations with all kinds of superstars, creative minds out here doing great stuff. Next week, we're also going to have a board meeting for the chamber. Got our Armed Forces Committee for the chamber meeting next Thursday. And by the way, this Thursday, well, it'll be for us, it'll be Friday. But this Thursday is going to be my mom's birthday, so I'm excited about that. Got to make sure. It's too bad I can't be there for that, but that's all right. We'll be all right. Well, you guys, I hope you had a good time. That's what we got for you today. I'll wrap up a little bit earlier, and we're going to be back at it tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. A little bit after. Again, Kathy's, I got to drop off the kids this week. Maybe, I don't want to get the kids there too early. I try to get them there at 7, and that's still way before the other kids get there. So that's what we're going to end up doing. All right, you guys, so have a great day. You got all your updates for the Associated Press, whether it's the sports and all the news updates. We're going to have great weather all week, and we're going to be back here tomorrow morning. So have a great day. Enjoy it if you're off, and if you got to work, hey, you're just like everyone else. Have a great day, guys. Take care.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we got to discuss. Happy Tirawami greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news from a beautiful